everyone, and welcome to my craft room. It's Janet, and today I'm participating in a really informative hop. It's sponsored by Hoppin, a year of fun themes and techniques. It's a Facebook group, and I'll put a link to that so that you can participate in this hop. You can follow all the people, and we're going to be offering all kinds of ideas on storage, organization, and productivity. Today I'm going to show you some of the things that I've picked up and learned to use effectively in my craft room. They are kind of unconventional things. They tend to be found in the office or the kitchen, but they happen to also work really, really well in our craft rooms. So I can't wait to show them to you. Let's get started. All right, everybody, this is my main work area. My office here is 10 by 10, so it's not huge, but it is a nice dedicated space. So what I'm going to show you may not work for you depending on where you're working, but I've been a crafter for decades now, and this is my first dedicated room. And so I worked really hard to design it to work well for me, and I have made some changes since I initially moved in a year ago, but I'm really settled now into how it works for me. And let me show you some of the tools that I use to stay organized and productive that I want to share with you. And it's sort of unconventional. The first one here you might recognize. It's a typical file folder that you would use in an office. Now this is located right above my workstation, and it's within arm's reach. So here I have my two cutters that I use the most. This one is not as much as this one. This is the Works tool. Below that I have a score pal. You can see that. Everything slides in there real nice. Right here is all my long rulers and measuring tools. I've got a tape runner that I can take in and out real quick. Some double-sided adhesive for my die cuts when I want to use that. I've got a mini scoreboard here. And over here I have a small cutting board, and deeper in there is my envelope maker. Back in the backpack, I've just got a piece of magnetic material there right now. But this makes it really handy for me to just grab these things. I use them all the time, and it's very quick. Also, I have a place to put them back when I'm done, which keeps things off the desk and a little bit neater. I have it set up in this bookcase, and I really want to promote the idea that if you can have a bookcase next to your work surface, your desk, or whatever it is that you're using, you can go up with your storage. And in any space where space is a premium, going vertical is always recommended. That's one thing I learned when I researched my own room that the experts said. That's not me, that's organization experts saying that. So in addition to holding that, I'm using some office hooks over here. This is my heat gun, as you can recognize. That is the hot glue gun. The heating tool is ready to go. I always have it plugged in, and I can just turn it on and start using it. The glue gun is just hanging there ready for me to plug in. It's just really handy. I don't have to search for it or anything like that. It makes things a lot quicker again. And above that, I have another hook that's a T-square in there, and also I've got a lighter to singe the ends of ribbons and also light my candles that I run from time to time. So that works very well. But it's another reason to try to use a bookcase at the end of your work surface, because then you have that whole wall that you've now added, and I'm not even using it well. Someone else could probably better and more efficiently use that whole surface to put other things. The next thing, there's actually two things I want to show you. This is a Lazy Susan. You know what that is. But I have it on my work surface most of the time, and this is just loaded with all the most common tools I use in paper crafting. So you'll see I have scissors, tweezers, my favorite paint brushes, some pencils, eraser, my Cricut tool, a bone folder, or Teflon folder. I've got some highlighters. Over here is my tool to get the little bits out of dies. That's this brush tool. I've got a small scissor for fussy cutting, my finger blade, sand erasers, some glue stick, which I use also from time to time. And then my glue is sitting here, and it's glue Caddy. And I will take this off and put it closer to me when I'm working. This is also my stamp press. That's my hand press, you know, that you can press down on when you're stamping with your with my MISTI so that I can get even pressure. This is my double-sided foam tape that I get from Dollar Tree and use constantly. In here is my chamois. It's a great place to store it, and this way it doesn't, when it's wet, get everything else wet, but yet makes it easy to find it and handy to get at. I've got a couple of the smaller Memento ink dewdrops, I guess they're called. Rather than having the great big ones, usually the small ones work fine, but if I do need a bigger one, of course I have a whole collection of the larger size stamping pads for that. I have my white unicorn in the back there too. I don't use it as much, but when I do need it, I don't have to search for it. So it's red, black, and the white is my most commonly used. So there's that. Then over here, this is like something I so love. It's just a envelope holder, really. It's got several slots in it like this. And what I use it for at my desk is I'll put the things that I'm working on, from the stamp sets I'm using to the paper I'm using. And again, it's vertical, right? Everything is going here. I can see it. I can grab it when I need it, and yet it's off of my work surface. For me, that is huge. This is a really nice big work surface, as you can see, but even I run out of room, and this helps me contain the mess a bit and also not lose things as much. Same thing with the Lazy Susan system. Everything has its place. I kind of know where it goes back to. Makes it quicker and easier to find it when I want to grab whatever item I'm looking for. All right, guys, this is where how I store all of my embossing powders. This is actually called a spice stack, and it's meant for spices and spice storage. You can understand why. But guess what? It works fantastic for things like embossing powders. So this is my whole embossing powder collection right here. You can just pull them out and you can see everything and pull whatever you need and then put it back. And it's going to stick for me for some reason right now. There we go. It typically doesn't stick. I'm not sure why that was. But when I'm not, where I store this is over here. This is my IKEA cabinet, and it fits right there for me. And on top of that, I have a box that I put most of my punches in. So I'm utilizing as much of that space as I can. You don't need an IKEA storage system to take advantage of this. It can even fit on your work surface because, again, this is nice and sturdy. You can put something else on top of that and maximize that space too. All right, last but not least, I wanted to show you this. This is a spice rack, and it holds all my sprays, my pastes, my adhesives. You can see the adhesives and things are mostly on the top because they're the tallest. But under there we have the short little bottles and jars. We tend to have a lot of these as crafters, and this allows me to put it someplace where it's out of the way. This is just on a wall, and the wall is actually behind a door. So it's wasted space unless you use it in this manner. It's not deep enough to put anything else. This is about 3 or 4 inches deep. You can see that. There you see my door. So when I open the door, it opens all the way and it doesn't bang into it. So it's just a great use of that typically wasted door space. And it makes it so easy to find things. Everything is one level deep. So I can see, well, it's mostly one level deep anyway. And I can see everything and pull it out as I need it and then put it back when I'm done. Well, everybody, I hope that you got some useful tips and tricks out of this video. I do have another complete video on a tour of my room that I made about a year ago. And so if you'd like to see that, I've changed a few things, but not a lot. So that's still really relevant to how I'm organizing. And I'll put a link to that in case you'd like to see it. Thanks again for joining me here today. And also, don't forget to visit all the people who are in this hop, because they're going to have some great ideas for you and ideas that we can all benefit from. And I'm very excited to even watch it myself because I can't wait to see what others recommend. All right, take care, everyone. I'll be back soon. In fact, I'll be back on Saturday with a project to make Valentines for kids. And then on Sunday, I'll have my craft talking segment, which I'll show you everything I've been up to the previous week. So join me for those as well. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you have the bell picked so that it's bolded. That will give you a notice when I post a new video, and I hope to be seeing you soon again. Take care, everyone. Happy crafting. Bye.